Buenos a todos y buenas tardes. Welcome everyone and good afternoon. Welcome to a community that is dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and healthy, full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. Today is Saturday, June 27th, and continuing with the theme, which is 2020 Spiritual Vision, our monthly topic has been mindfulness for mavericks. And this week, we are talking about mindful action. Each week, we start with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer, which is also known as spiritual mind treatment. This is a powerful tool and a practical tool that shifts our consciousness so that we are open and able to receive all the good that is already present in our life. It's where our thoughts and living align with all of our good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, by reading from the Creative Thought magazine. Today I'll be reading from June 26, 2014. The spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person, so I invite you to close your eyes if you so choose and take these words as your own. The inner light knows no boundaries. There is a light, a force, which is the same power that was first thought in the universe. It is the absolute intelligence that creates everything. This great cause of all being knows everything. Therefore, it is never confused. It is infinite understanding. I rest in this power and align my thoughts with the source of my being. I know the truth as I rest in the spiritual nature of divinity, a nature that does not change and is forever the same. I stand firm knowing that I am one with the light and the power that are always available to keep me eternally safe and secure. Knowing my spiritual identity makes clear that difficulty of any kind has no spiritual base and cannot stand before the one power of pure goodness. Any appearance of difficulty, whatever that appearance, is a lie made of unreal symptoms of nothingness that vanish before the reality of good. Every human problem can be resolved in the consciousness of spiritual care, the most effective and only solution. With consuming gratitude, I applaud my ability to see the truth about substance. I've gained through the eyes of love a deeper understanding of wholeness and my expression of God. I release this prayer to God's law, knowing that it does the work, and so it is. That was from Pat Farmer from Atlanta, Georgia. So at this time, I'd like to review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. Our purpose is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, which is to educate and support each other so we can create the life we desire that works for us right now. And this is supported by our mission, which is to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So at this time, I'd like to acknowledge everyone that is here and know that you are welcomed in our spiritual home, that everyone is valued and valuable to us and to everyone. So thank you and welcome. We teach a philosophy called the science of mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom. We also offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And what I found when coming into this teaching is that I learned that there is a better way to live. And that is through this personal growth from the tools and principles that I've learned here in the teaching. So I hope that you gather some of this, or if you have not already, that you find something here for you today. When Dr. Ernest Holmes found this teaching in the 20s, he studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts, which created the science of mind. And that's what focuses on the individual use of this powerful thing called the mind. So each week we offer spiritual or inspirational message. And normally this would be done at a downtown restaurant in Puerto Vallarta. Yes, a lot of the restaurants have been opening here in Puerto Vallarta. However, there is still that underlying request for people to stay home unless it is to go out for essential needs. And while you do go out, there is still the maintaining of wearing the face mask, which would be quite a challenge to do these broadcasts with a mask on out in a public facility. So we will continue to provide a weekly lecture here on Zoom, and it'll be posted on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our website. And some more information on returning back to our original location will follow as soon as we have progressed into phase 3 and back to the new normal. So if you have any questions or comments, you can either post them here online on whichever venue that you are viewing this, and I'll be sure to respond. We are co-creators that live and speak life into being in alignment with spirit. Our thoughts and our words have impact and meaning. We are creative agents through them and with them. And yet, as the following quote from Dr. Ernest Holmes states, we must put meaning and belief into our thoughts, our words, and our prayers. And in this meaning, the conviction, the mindfulness, that is the root, the link from which our words come to life. So let me just share this quote from Dr. Ernest Holmes. He says, through faith, tie your mind back to the mind of God, and in action, live as though you are guided by a supreme intelligence. This past month of June, we've been focusing on mindfulness in our breath, our intentions, our speech, and in our actions. The first week, we discussed breathing, and we were reminded that spirit breathes itself as life. The second week, we looked at mindful intentions. Last week, we focused on mindfulness in our speech. And this week, we're looking at mindful action. The natural process of creation and transformation involves treating or moving our feet, even when that feels uncomfortable. In the Science of Mind teaching, we hear this phrase often: treat and move your feet. What does it really mean? Thinking alone is not enough. We must do something. We must take action. Just like when we plant a seed in a garden, we must also tend for them, water them, weed them, and fertilize them for ultimate growth. The same is true for our thoughts. We're always in a state of action in our lives, like the act of breathing, processing, sleeping, eating. Yet we're not always mindful of our interacting with our actions. So, what could our lives look like if we were being mindful in our actions and aligning them with our intentions, all mindfully? So, let's take a deeper look into this with the following 3 key points. First, the word that birthed creation. Secondly, afraid of our truth. And finally, mindful speech and hope. In the Bible, James 2:26, that faith without works is dead. This was a quote from the Bible that one could argue that faith without works isn't really faith at all. The two are inseparable, as Dr. Ernest Holmes' quote reminded us. Again, he said, through faith, tie your mind back to the mind of God, and in action, live as though you are guided by a supreme intelligence. Affirmative prayer's role is in setting our intention and speaking our word mindfully. This is what we've been discussing in the last couple of weeks. However, we can sit in a room affirming the presence of electricity and praising its virtue, but until we take action, bringing in the light or a lamp, plugging it in, switching it on, then we just continue to sit in the dark. We must both think and do. There's thought and action. Jesus, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, and Martin Luther King Jr. didn't just pray, they took action both on and in their faith. They were mavericks. Again, a maverick is a person who thinks and acts in an independent way, often behaving differently from the expected or the usual. Here's 10 qualities of a maverick leader. How many of these do you recognize in yourself? Maverick leaders are true-hearted and authentic. They believe in their own vision and ideas for the world. They challenge the status quo. They have strong convictions. They're courageous. They listen to their intuition. They make things happen. And they enroll others to join them on their journey. In John 14:12, Jesus tells the apostles and us, "These things and greater shall you do." He doesn't say, "These things and greater shall you pray for." We are called to pray and we are called to act. Bayard Rustin, an openly gay man, met with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1950s and began working with King as an organizer and strategist in 1955. He taught King about Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance and advised him on the tactics of civil disobedience. He assisted King with the boycott of segregated buses in Montgomery, Alabama in 1956. But most famously, Wisdom was the primary organizer of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedoms, at which Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his legendary "I Have a Dream" speech on August 28, 1963. Later in life, Wisdom fought for equality for the LGBTQ plus community. This is a quote from Wisdom. The proof that one truly believes is in action. And how true that is. It's not just the words, they must be backed up by action. Mindfulness is a state of being awake, aware, and present to the moment of here and now. Here, in the now, our thoughts, words, and actions are intentional. Practicing being fully present, even with mundane daily tasks, like washing the dishes, or folding the laundry, sweeping the floor. All of that trains us to be present to our connection and union with the divine. Mindfulness affords us the opportunity to commune with the divine. It is through this deep awareness that we access that which is ours to do. And the action emerges naturally. Our work, or our actions, then emerges from within and because of our faith. Our actions are the embodiment and demonstration of our faith. Our actions are informed by our faith. Here's another quote from Bayard Rustin. The real radical is that person who has a vision of equality and is willing to do those things that will bring reality closer to that vision. And our final point for today is mindful action for mavericks. It is the taking intentional action on that which has been revealed through spiritual discernment. It is to be and to act in service to the highest good. Being intentional and being a maverick take courage. Mindful action for mavericks is also encouraging and inspiring others to do likewise. So it's not just us. We want this for everyone, but we must lead by our actions. Audre Lorde was an American writer, feminist, womanist, librarian, and civil rights activist. As a poet, she's best known for her technical mastery and emotional expression, as well as her poems that express anger and outrage at civil and social injustices that she observed throughout her lifetime. Her poems and prose deal largely with issues related to civil rights, feminism, lesbianism, illness, and disability, and the exploration of Black female identity. And this is what she reminds us. When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it makes no difference whether or not I am afraid. Dare to be powerful. The mindful maverick prays to set their intention, meditates for divine discernment, and then takes action, repeating this cycle over and over, again and again and again. There's work to be done, and all of us need to do that work through our mindful thoughts, words, and actions. So let's do it. And in parting, I'd like to leave you with these words from another great maverick, Martha Graham. There is a vitality, a life force, an energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium, and it will be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours, clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. So now is our time for our weekly affirmation, which is every action I take emerges from knowing my oneness with all and serves the highest good. So now is our time for mindful giving to where you have been receiving your spiritual good. So I hope I've given you some words to think about today on how you can move forward with your thoughts and putting them into action. To be an ally, we can't just say the words. We must take the actions to prove those words. So be a maverick. So if you would like to donate to the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta, you can go to our website, www.cslpv.org, and on the front page, there is a button for PayPal. Just click on that and give kindly through your heart, whatever you feel that you can give, knowing that as we give, we receive, and as we receive, we give back. So we have some offertory affirmations. If you would like to repeat them after me, I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. And together we say, I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you all for coming here today. And again, if there's any comments or questions, or if you require a prayer service, then please contact us and we will get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, go out and enjoy life. Make it a great day for you and everyone that you love and are surrounded by and surrounded with. Namaste.